Alex Tagliani had a close call a minute ago, 35.
Oh, just touching the car in front, and the 35 car of Tagliani. Boy, that's very lucky. I always say, Eddie, when something happens like that and you save it, it's time to go buy a lottery ticket. Apart at the end of the race here today will have to be seen. Now we ride along with Ryan Briscoe down at turn one, a little high, guys, up into the gray, not on the black, not where all the rubber is. Man, that was a save.
Did you see him grab a couple of gears?
Well, I'll tell you what, he had that rear end kicked out in the car. He was holding on to it, Marty. It was very...
The pit wall. Let's have a look at what we've got on that Sullivan incident.
He went clear down through the infield, down in the grass.
Wow.
So let's see if it looks like he hurt the car.
Has any racer ever had the kind of fortune here at Indianapolis that Danny Sullivan has had in the past 3 years?
Just as he wants to. Look at the crowd, and now another look at the spin.
It's on the left of your screen.
Yep.
Of course, you can see it, Johnny Parsons. Very fortunate here that nobody was bearing down on him, because had they been, they might not have been able to see where his car was as the tires left that enormous cloud of smoke. He did well, Jim. He
Yes,
could have
he did.
spun that thing around, stalled it. Instead, he's driving off down the road.
There.
And here is the other situation. Mark Dismore on the start. This is turn one. And down on the inside there, he just nipped the inside, it looked like, and that twisted him around, fortunately, to the inside.
Well, that's right. It looks like he just pinched it down a little bit, turned the wheel, and lost it.
All right, let's go to get...
Well, the back end of the car was already starting to walk around with him on the exit of the turn. So as you know, Eddie, that's the oversteer. The back end's getting light. You cannot control it as a driver, even though you turn opposite lock. Now there again, he's quite a ways away from that white line, as you and I have discussed.
But he almost caught it. It started on very early and it went straight, and then he hooked it down and he did what you're supposed to do. When you spin on an oval, they always tell you you have to bring the car down to the left.
And don't forget, that's at over 200 miles an hour. And he's calm, cool, and collected, looking out the left-hand side to see where he's going.
Check out Ferrucci right here. He just came in here and then just threaded the needle through the grass and made up all those positions. He made about 8.
Wow.
Briscoe very lucky, off of the wall.
They were both very lucky.
He's in dirty area. He's up a little too high. They call that in the gray area. He's going to run out of track right now. He does. A little touch to Villeneuve's car, and he has to respond, go over to the left. And Davidson gets through. Look how sideways he is, and the lockup from Davidson's brakes right now. So not something you expect on lap one.
That smoke we saw was both cars braking, not both cars rubbing of the tires.
Caution, take another look.
Very much on the inside. Buddy Lazier's on the high side, then the 91 car with the LifeLock machine goes towards the center of the turn, and let's see if Buddy keeps it off the wall, collects it. A great job by the veteran. Milka, unfortunately, has the tight line and ends up doing a nice 360.
It's the first person we've seen today pull off a pass on the high side, but she's lucky she didn't hit anything, and Buddy's lucky that she didn't bump into him and knock him into the wall.
Now this is where she should have released the brakes right there and let the car go straight and collect it again, but it was just enough to flatten those tires, poke a hole through them.
There is Rick. And you saw Gary Bettenhausen lose it to the inside. Lazier caught the wall with the nose and was able to continue on. So Gary Bettenhausen, Bobby, looked like he was part of that.
Yes, he did. You know, from the rain washing stuff down, he was very low. Let's look at it right here. Gary's very low, completely below the white line. What happens? He's in the turn. The water from all the rain has washed all the debris down there, made it extremely slippery. Now, Gary...
Experience that he has as we're going to watch a replay here. Down low, looks like he might have got in just a little bit early and a little bit low on the white line, Eddie, and the car came around, and I cannot believe he did not hit the wall.
This reminds me of 1985, the spin in the very same spot. That's where Danny Sullivan spun right in front of Mario Andretti. Go.
And you got the powerhouse team of Target Chip Ganassi.
Oh, look out, Carpenter spins! Can he save it? And look out, he's right in the middle of the track.
Now your turn two, lobby 92.
Everybody gets by.
Well, we don't have any fuel mileage problems, guys.
Not anymore.
We're going racing.
Tough.
Shorter than it was before.
There's the possibility of some rain. Look!
Up a spin. That is Roberto Guerrero, the rookie who's been running so well, but he's under control.
He didn't hit it, and he didn't stall it, Jim.
What a beautiful job.
He didn't stall it. These cars always stall when they spin. To avoid stalling, you have to whip your foot in on the clutch. You see what I mean?
Yep.
And he did that. That's incredible presence of mind.
Back of their car in about 19 laps. We're still under caution. Jack Hewitt was a lot more than just an engine.
Well, fluid came out and got the car sideways. Jack did a tremendous job of catching that thing. He definitely didn't want that kind of yahoo at this time in the race.
Yeah, 26 years of racing on short tracks paid off for Jack right there.
Well, he got up out of the groove, but I think that was the fluid that got him started. He did it.
This is what happened to Marco Andretti.
Whoa!
I'll tell you what.
He's going, yeah, I'm not sure who he's shaking his fist at. He's just probably thinking, you know something, my heart rate is now racing about 200 beats a minute.
Back live at Indianapolis under yellow. The reason for the yellow, a spin by Jim Crawford. Bobby Unser, it happened right in front of you.
Yes, and you can see, Paul, as they came off over here, they've been loose, as I mentioned to you. Jim Crawford's rear end was just loose. They've lost a lot of fluids in the cars, and the track is just slippery as you come off here. Now we can watch him in slow motion. He's coming through there. There he is, second car from the back. There you can see the rear end just slowly came around. Now, if you're going to have a spin, you couldn't.
Full-blooded Navajo Native American, and the Navajo Nation gave him a native name not too long ago, one with a fast horse. And with it, he says, that's why he made the Indianapolis 500.
This is a huge break for the Penske team. They had run 43 laps since their last pit stop, so they were going to have to stop very quickly. Now then, they're going to be able to stop under the yellow. You can see right there, he just did a spin. Look at the cars behind him. What a great job those guys did. He was going low, he was going high.
Man.
That's right. Car. And as a driver, Rusty, you know that it's not something that you look at and make a decision. As Kanaan does a wonderful job on missing the inside wall, that's just reaction time from a driver from years of experience of driving race cars and training.
That was an incredible save on Tony Kanaan's part. Now look at Lazier. It looks as though he's got the rubber buildup on the outside of his tires. He's got up in that second groove and just couldn't hold on to it. And Kanaan had to get on the brakes, and it caused this spin. Now, I tell you.
Townsend Bell is back on pit road.
He's going slow. See his steering wheel, how bent that is? Oh, here's the reason why.
Oh, he just brushes it. That was brilliant driving, though, catching it like that. Let's go on board.
That's what we call a moment. Down by the white line, all good. A little twitch, which means the back end of the car is loose. Collects it the same way that James Hinchcliffe did. Going through the grass at that speed's not something you want to do, but a great recovery.
All right, Ryan. Giaffoni, he will not pass him. Giaffoni is running in 16th position and is the last car on the lead lap.
So he really had to back out of it there, so it's going to be. Oh, man. You were just right with the biggest save I've seen in one of those babies for a while.
Wow. It looks like when he gets in.
If rear wheels were to interlock, you would see the kind of accident that we saw earlier in this. Oh, and here we have a spin out.
There we go. That's 96. That is the other Whittington brother.
Oh,
Whittington.
And he didn't seem to hit the wall. It was amazing. He's got a flat front tire. A flat right front tire, left of our picture, is flat there, and that seemed to be the cause of that problem.
By the way, the applause is for the way he handled the car on the spin. And the lead cars are coming into the pit.
In second. Now, their teammate, James Hinchcliffe, he had a moment a couple of laps ago. He's running back in 18th, and he's lucky to be running at all. Oh, he's way too high here.
As you see up in the gray, and he's been driving that car very hard, pushing into the turn past the limit of the car, almost hits the wall, comes over to the left, almost takes out his fellow Canadian, Alex Tagliani. You can see how high he is. He doesn't want to get off the gas because he knows he'll cost himself spots, but watch it, the steering wheel comes out from his hands.
Woof. And while we're doing that.
All right, let's take a look. We'll see it. Watching for the red car, Vitolo, and there it is. Quick spin and back pointed straight. That's enough to bring out the yellow. Here's another angle of it.
Oh, beautiful spin. That's a Danny Sullivan style spin, but by a man with much less experience. Dennis Vitolo, a rookie who put all his life savings into this race, really had him wiped out there.
Sam, he was very, very lucky. It's very seldom that somebody can spin and keep going that good.
Bobby, one of the things that I noticed in watching this tape is he was really trying to pinch the car down very low. His skid started back a little way.
And that lead is dwindling by the second. Scoreboard showing it a half a second, but it certainly isn't. It's nothing now. Danny Sullivan going down low. Can he make the move? Sullivan down low. Side by side, Sullivan has the lead. Danny Sullivan, Kentucky, and just at that moment, losing control of the car, doing a magnificent job of not hitting the wall and continuing in the race. It's unbelievable.
The incredible move maybe ever in Indianapolis, and Mario didn't hit him, Jim. That's even more incredible.